The U.S. women's soccer team just lost to Canada 1-0 in the Olympics. Although I am extremely happy that this woke version of this squad, which I cheered for years, is no longer going to be potentially protesting this country on the gold medal stand, it wasn't always like that. I'm going to tell you about my suspicion of what I think is going on behind the scenes that no one's going to tell you about, just from my observations, and we're going to start right now. Hello, my name is Kyle and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, as we've had several new subscribers come on board recently, thank you so much for that. Let me tell you about this channel. We take pop culture and politics and we filter it through the lens of conservatism. We filter things right. And so if you like that and it makes sense to you, then by all means, please consider liking and subscribing. So before we get into the main narrative of this video about other players, let's take a look at this actual game. This is from the U.S. women's soccer team Twitter page. They're pretty disappointed. Not the result we wanted, but not done yet. Still a medal to play for on Thursday. So my question is, if they win on Thursday, are they going to protest their bronze medal? Which I think that would be actually cool if they are losers on the stand and protesting it then, because it would kind of fit. Kind of like the athlete that did the X above her head celebrating her silver medal. She didn't win, she's the loser. And you can accentuate that by doing a protest on the medal stand. Okay, fine. If you want to protest as a gold medalist, that's one thing. But second place means you lost. All right, you didn't win. And there's nothing to celebrate. I mean, if you want to protest that and represent yourself as a loser for this country, well then I guess that fits. But these guys, I would curiously see if they actually decide to do a protest if they were to win the bronze medal. Frankly, I think they'll probably lose the bronze medal match as well. It says here, final, Canada's penalty proves to be the difference. The USA will play for bronze on Thursday. And in case you were wondering, Canada is ranked 8th in the world by FIFA. And so what I found interesting is when I came down here to do this particular video, I saw the players to follow here on Twitter. And it said show more, and you see Rapinoe, you see Carly Lloyd, we'll talk about her in a second, Alex Morgan, but then you come down to Tobin Heath. And if you're not familiar with this player, this is probably the most talented player on the team. This woman is amazing with her soccer skills and her ball skills. She has Ephesians 2:8-9 on her page. If you're not familiar with what that means, that is the verse that says, "For by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is of the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast." It is a evangelical verse in the Bible, and which got me thinking, okay, now she could still be woke. Doesn't mean just because you have a Bible verse doesn't mean you're not woke. But it led me to think that some of these players very well may not be on board with Rapinoe. In this particular picture here, you have Crystal Dunn here and other players here who are standing. Crystal Dunn has her hand over her heart. And mind you, this isn't the Olympics. This is a few years ago, I think. But at some point in time, they love this country, or at least thought to respect this country. So it got me to thinking that, hey, you know what? I bet you a lot of these players don't think that way. But I did a little bit more digging, and I found this article about Carly Lloyd as well. And I found this article on this blog here has, in a woke sports world of anti-Americans like Megan Rapinoe, be a Carly Lloyd. And if you remember Carly Lloyd was the one who had the greatest performance ever in the history of a World Cup. She had a hat trick in the first half of a World Cup, never been done, probably never to be repeated. One of her goals, the last one she did, was a 50-yard goal from half court. She literally kicked it from midfield, right on the line, over the goaltender's head. She noticed that the goaltender was out of position. She kicked it over the goaltender's head and she scored. It was amazing. If you haven't seen that, go check out the highlights. Anyway, she's amazing. And this article here seems to think that she is a patriot. And I've heard several stories of Carly Lloyd and other articles about how her disdain of certain things dealing with woke policies, how she talked about we faced the flag, and that she appears to be fully on board with the cause of loving the country. And this article seems to think that they're pushing a Megan Rapinoe who doesn't have any of the clout on the field as a Carly Lloyd, who has scored 126 goals to Megan Rapinoe's 59. And I get it, Megan Rapinoe is not a striker. Her purpose on the field is not to be the goal scorer, it's to pass the ball to the goal scorers so they can score the goals. I get that. So it makes sense that her goal scoring is down. However, it's undeniable that Carly Lloyd is the best player on that team, or at least it was back in 2015, but yet they're going to push this. And it got me to thinking this. And I can't prove this. I don't have any evidence for this at all. But I just suspect that this soccer team, that the majority of this soccer team is a silent majority. Just like anything else in this country, there is a 30% woke leftist side of it, but the rest of the normal society are pro-America, they're pro-hard work, they're pro-this, pro-that. That has nothing to do with Marxism. And we're quiet because these people on the other side are just insane and they're loud, so we just give them their way. And I suspect that is what's happening here. And so what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the Megan Rapinos of the U.S. women's soccer team and others, I wouldn't put the women's basketball team in there because of a certain reason why, you can probably guess why I would say that most of them probably are woke, right? But seriously, do you think that the women's soccer team is just being held hostage by Megan Rapinoe and maybe a couple of her buddies? Because really, she's a strong leader and most people just want to play. They just want to play. And if you want to do your little thing over here, do your little thing, but not knowing that the masses aren't liking it, you have a sour apple in the bunch that's ruining the entire barrel. That's what I think is going on. At least I hope that's what it is. And so they know that Megan Rapinoe can push issues their way, like equal pay. So why go against her if I do that on the social issues? It may hurt us in equal pay, which I'm all for. I think you should get paid exactly what you're worth. What the U.S. women's soccer team is worth, that's up for discussion and up for debate. But with one caveat, we all know that equal pay has reasons. Men and women get paid differently. There are reasons there. How many hours of work, different career choices, the whole nine. So that notwithstanding, I think everyone should get paid exactly what they're worth. So these players may say, you know what? I don't want to go after Rapinoe and say, hey, you're wrong here, because that may affect us in other issues that she's pushing forth. Just my thoughts there. I may be way off base, but I am happy that this woke team will not be celebrating and potentially protesting on the gold medal stand on Thursday. So let me know what you think on the discussion here. I'd be curious to know what you think, especially if you're happy that this team lost. Let me know that too. And if you like what we do on this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter to you in a conservative manner. In other words, filter to you right. And please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And also there's a join button there that you can click to find out how to support this channel. You can do that. And also, if you enjoy content on this channel, we have some videos picked up for you right here.